We're live. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Draw and Talk. It's your boy Tyler. Today, guys, we have a super good episode. Today, I hope you guys are ready to have a good time. Some real quick announcements. If you are not part of our Discord, I'm putting the link in the chat. Please join our Discord. We have like 20 something members on Discord, and you can join if you're a writer. You can post some writing tips, some writing resources, tell us what you're writing about. If you're an artist, you can do the same thing. You can show us what you're working on. You can promote your stuff. It's so far super good. We got Justin and Alan already here in the house in the chat. Guys, what do you guys think of our Discord? They're both members of it. And then so I'll put the link in there if you guys want to join. It's also in the description. But then also, guys, another announcement. Where is my share screen? Is this? It's the $200 giveaway writing contest. Guys, I put the freaking date and the time right here. It's the first thing you see in blue. It's on May 1st at 7:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. The instructions are here, the rules. I mean, I've had some messages from people saying today, is this episode today? What time is it? I'm like, it's on the thing. I said it 3 times. It's right there. So, guys, May 1st, at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the same time we do every Draw and Talk show. That's when we're going to be doing this. There's going to be 3 to 5 judges. I'm still trying to figure out. I already have 3 judges, but I'm thinking I might put 5 judges in there because that's what America's Got Talent does, and I just love that show so much. And and so we might have 5 judges. This is how it's going to work. Okay, we are going to throw out the Google Hangout link. Okay, we're going to say the genre for round 1 is sci-fi. We'll throw out the Google Hangout link. Then writers will come on. They have 90 seconds to pitch us a 2-page sci-fi story. That's just the genre in this example. We will weed out who we like and who we don't. By the end of it, we will have 4 winners of round 1. They'll go to round 2. We'll pick a new genre, and we'll repeat that until we eliminate all of them except for one. That one person will then be given $200 to make that 2-page story, whether it's paying one artist or creating an art team. So that is what's happening. $200. It's coming out of my own bank account, so don't rip me off, guys. Let's make comics. So yeah, let's see. We got LP in the house. LP rules. That's another announcement. We have Iris here. How you doing, Iris? And then we have Allie in the house. She says Discord is fun. I'm just saying hi. Thanks, Allie. All right, guys. If you're here checking it out, remember to like and subscribe and say hi to us in the chat. So, guys, we have an awesome episode today. I want to bring in our 2 guests. They're Draw and Talk veterans. They've been on the show before. And we're going to be talking about Beast King number 3. So I'd like to introduce my guests. We have Shane Morrison and we got my boy Chuck. How you doing, guys?
What's up?
Guys, Chuck used to be on the show all the time, and we stopped doing and then I stopped doing creator hangouts, and then it's been a while, Chuck.
Yeah. It has been a while, but I promise it's not because of the lack of creator announcements. It's more just been busy, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you've been super busy, Chuck. I mean, and you're the editor of Beast King 3, and you're editor of a lot of comics, plus you're working on your own comics as well.
Yeah, no, it's been insane. Literally right now, I have the Kickstarter for Belial open because we want to have it out next week, and I'm working on that while talking to you guys. I also have a bunch of different editing jobs going on right now. I actually looked back and I was like, how many editing jobs do I have that haven't hit yet? And it's more than a dozen. I can't count them all because I keep forgetting.
That's stressful. And then we got Shane Morrison here. He if you guys haven't seen his Kickstarter, were you on last time for Crossers Gate or Beast King 2?
I believe it was Crossers Gate 3.
Yeah.
Crossers Gate 3. So then now, guys, Shane's got Crossers Gate 3. That's a book by Travis Martinez, the artist of Demons, guys. But then also Shane also has Beast King, which is his own personal IP. And we're going to be talking about Beast King number 3. But and before I let them pitch Beast King number 3, I just want to let everyone know that today's topic is talking about what's the difference. Just ask yourself this in your heart of hearts. What's the difference between plagiarism and influence? How do you separate the two? Because a lot of creators have a hard time with this, me included. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But real quick, Shane, let me share my screen, and let's talk about Beast King #3. Which, by the way, congrats on funding.
Thanks. It actually went a lot quicker than I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be like the last week till it got funded.
No, you did
now
good.
I'm having to come up with stretch goals, like to show people. It's a little late.
That just goes to show, because I think the last like Kickstarters you did, it was down to the wire, but now this one, it got funded. Boom. That just goes to show that you're growing a following, you're growing clearly you have a good product because people are coming back to it. So tell everyone, tell us about Beast King #1, 2, and 3. Tell us why we should back this book.
So Beast King is basically a science fiction kind of action series, and it's about a guy who when he was born, he had already had his DNA genetically modified and had animal DNA combined with it. So it gives him some pretty crazy powers, and he can even transform into a powerful beast. But due to that, it's kind of made him hunted in a sense, and people pretty much want him because he's supposed to be like the perfect being of his kind, as this almost like a human chimera kind of thing. And due to that, his parents were murdered when he was a kid and all that. And so basically this whole thing is like a huge revenge story about him trying to get back at the people that killed his parents. And let's see, I don't want to, if I say certain things about issue 1, it kind of gives away spoilers for those who haven't read it.
Just spoil it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you're on issue 3, man. If you can spoil issue 1.
Well, I mean, there's still plenty of people that haven't read it, but I'll summarize it in vague words. There's some very unexpected stuff that happens in issue 1, betrayal and whatnot of what you wouldn't expect, and meeting new people in issue 2 that kind of get caught up in this whole journey of his. And issue 3 is kind of continuing from issue 2, if that makes any sense.
That's good. That's good that issue 2 continues. Well, I've read issue 1 and 2, and what's interesting about the whole concept is that, well, I get not interesting, but like what's nice is that this is it's a fun story. Like if you're looking for entertainment, this is an entertaining story. I mean, the panels that you've shown, by the way, for your preview are really action packed, and Travis Martinez is also the artist for this. It's so interesting to see the art that he does for Beast King and compare it to the art that he does for
Demons.
And I don't know if it's because I don't ask him to draw the things that like you ask him. And, maybe I should have asked him to draw the things that you asked him.
Yeah, me and Travis kind of communicate a lot on each and everything. Like he'll send me the draft pages and all that, and I'll be like, well, what if we did this or that? And he'll let me know if that would work and whatnot. But I also pay him a little extra per page to give us more detail.
Yeah, that's what I noticed is that like for his car, it would just be a square on mine, and then I'll get it back and I'll be like, okay, luckily I'm an artist, and then I'll do all like the detail. But he's a super talented artist, and he works with so many different creators. I totally understand why he has such an interesting this is if you pay me at this is how much I'm going to give you. He has 10 different tiers on his website.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't pay him the highest tier because it takes a bit longer on each page. Mm-hmm. And he told me since mine's 32 pages, that'd probably not be best for me until he gets to where he can do it quicker.
Yeah, but he's a really talented artist. And then I have a quick question. What made you go with that particular colorist and not I know Travis can color his own work? Was it just cost? Like it was cheaper to pay a separate colorist? Or
well, Actually, I think it actually costs a little bit more to have a separate colorist, but the thing is, having the artist also doing the coloring makes it take even longer.
That's very true.
Because,
That's very true.
like, basically, I'll pay Travis to do 5 pages. When he finishes those, he'll email me those 5, and then I'll pay him to do the next 5. But the 5 that are already finished, I'll send to my colorist, and then it pretty much keeps going like that. And the ones that are finished, I'll try and letter myself and all that. So.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a super fun book. You guys should go check it out. I mean, for $3 you get the digital, but the one that everyone should be interested in is right here. Either if you're new to this, and I have a feeling that most of our viewers here are new to this, you should pledge at either the $8 mark or the where's the I can get all the or right here the 15 mark, 8 or 15. You can either get all 3 issues digital or all 3 physical.
There's
And
also a first ever variant cover.
Oh yeah, and there's the variant cover right here,
and that's
guys.
your first variant cover, right?
Yeah, because I kind of want to do it as like a limited thing, but people keep telling me maybe I should do it every issue. Because I was thinking about doing it like every 3 issues, but if I can pull off doing it every issue, I guess I might as well.
No, that's a good variant. Honestly.
Oh yeah, especially if I can get the same guy to do it every time.
oh yeah, it's super nice. So Chuck, how was it working? This is your second time working with Shane, editing it?
Well, so this was the first thing that I worked with Shane. However, we also have another series that I won't mention, but he has another series that he started up, and I'm editing that. And then we're already working on issue 4. He already has it done, and I'm going over that right now. That's one of the things on my plate right now.
Nice. So what's something that I guess and then Shane, it's just kind of awkward that you're here, but I'm asked this question. What is something that you've seen improve with it from issue 3 than from issues 1 and 2?
Okay, no, and you know what the thing is, he has improved a lot. One of the things was at the beginning, Shane was brand new, and Shane wanted to do what almost everyone does, and that is they want to do the cool stuff. I want all the cool stuff, and yes, like if you look at them, there's lots of action and there's lots of cool stuff, but he's gotten to the heart of it. And so by the time we've gotten to issue 3, you can really feel those characters, all of them. I mean, not to throw you under the bus or anything, bud, but like even like in issue 2, I can't remember the names right now because I know 1,000 different character names because of all the books I've edited. But the 2 characters, the 2 friends, what are their names again?
Garrett and Liz.
Garrett. Okay, yeah. So Garrett and Liz, they were a little more kind of. I'm looking at the chat. Everyone's freaking out. They were a little more like cookie cutter-ish. But in issue 3, there was a lot more definition as to who those characters are. So he has them a long way just as far as that, and I think you guys will really see the jump.
Well, what's crazy is that this isn't like even something that like that just new creators struggle with. I think it's every creator. Brian Edward Hill, who's like a comic book writer. He writes for TV. I mean, he writes for DC and Vertigo, and it took him like 6 or 7 issues into his new Vertigo series for us the reader to click on like, oh, that's the character. I understand the characters and what they're going through and the emotions. Whereas like, the first 6 issues I'm reading, I'm just like, everyone's a dick. Everyone has no emotions. Everyone's robotic. And then you finally get 6 issues and you're like, okay, I kind of understand this now. And sometimes that's a technique. I think that can be scary sometimes because if I'm not invested within the first like issue of these characters, I typically won't buy issue 2. I mean, a big reason I didn't get into Outcast by Robert Kirkman is just because like the first couple issues, I was just like, where is this going? I just don't know. And then I read this interview with Robert Kirkman. He goes, yeah, we're doing like issue like 30 now, and it's really getting into the story that I was originally wanting to tell. I'm like, you waited till issue 30 to start telling the story. I mean, if you're Robert Kirkman, you got FU money. I guess you can do a comic like that. But for us indies, that's quite scary.
Yeah, that's true. And I think people kind of, how do I put it? I think people kind of give us the benefit of the doubt. They usually kind of give us the first 2 to 3 issues to kind of try to figure things out because we're indies, so we don't have that pro label next to us, so there's not as much expected from us. So they're more willing to kind of stick with it to see if it works out.
It's true. It's like, listen, I know you're an indie comic, so just give it your best shot. And then, yeah, it's like if you maybe you missed a couple things, like okay, like that you kind of dinged that one up a bit. Come out with another one, fix it, and improve. I think that's what people like about indie comics is they know there's a lot of heart and soul in every single issue, and they want the creators to succeed. And they know that the creator can only succeed if they are given more and more chances.
Oh yeah, part of my issue was when I made issue 1 and 2 of Beast King, I didn't know any other creators or anyone, so I kind of didn't have any support in that aspect. So it was kind of just me and Travis and my colorist kind of just doing it in the dark.
You just like went for it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, guys, guys, I'm putting the frick, hold on. The Beast King link is down in the description down below. I'm also going to put it in the chat. Go check that out. Let's see. We got Tank Ferret here in the house. We got Jose. What's up, bro? We got Britton. We got Katrina Roetz. How you doing, Katrina? And we have Visible Dreams here, guy. And we have Dono, the gamer. And then, guys, I'll plug this one last time before we get into our conversation. Is if you want to join our Discord, we have some awesome conversations going on about writing tips, art. People are plugging in their stuff. People are showing what they're working on. They're getting tips. They're getting critiques. It's totally free. You just got to create an account. It's freaking fun. It's awesome. We're building a really awesome community there. And then, yeah, let's talk about this. And I'm super glad that we're able to do this conversation right now because the show is shifting in May. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do these creator interviews. I'm thinking they're gonna have to happen on Saturday mornings. So this is a good this is fun to do this now because I won't be doing any live shows during the weekdays starting in May. But guys, life's busy. I had to make adjustments. I got a kid on the way. The kid's gonna be pooping everywhere.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Buddy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna have a kid here. I can't be doing a live show. Hey guys, it's live, and then also I'm here that's like
changing the diaper on screen.
I'll be changing the diaper. I'll just be like, yeah, guys. So comics.
Diaper hits the screen.
I'll probably throw up, to be honest. Like last time I changed a diaper, I threw up on the baby, and it was bad. So I'm ready for fatherhood. So guys, today we're going to be talking about plagiarism or influence. How do you separate the two as a creator? Because if you ever seen Inception, y'all know that original ideas are super hard to come by, and if you come up with an original idea, you had to get Inceptions and stuff like that. The worst thing to think as an indie creator is to think, oh my gosh, I have the most original idea. No one's ever done that, until you realize that, guys, Demons right here, Demons Volume 1. I was like, I've really hit the nail on something. And then I put Volume 1 out. Someone's like, hey, you should watch Supernatural. I watched the first 5 seasons, and I was like, that's my comic. Oh, and then I was like, but don't worry, Volume 2 has a new character called Leviathan. Ain't no one doing that. 7th season of Supernatural, Leviathan's coming, and I went, that's my line. So, it's hard to come up with something original, but you have your take. So let's talk about that, guys. First off, have you guys ever had that problem where you come up with an idea and it was just so similar with another IP or story that you're like, I can't do this?
You first.
I'm not necessarily sure because I try to whenever I try to come up with something, I try to think of the other big ones so I don't try to go too much like them, if that makes any sense. But I mean, I was kind of worried with Beast King that people were going to be like, oh, you're just ripping off the Hulk. So,
maybe Beast King's like Brother Bear because he can turn into an animal. That Disney movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, but it's so everything's influenced by, or what's another one of those, you injected me and betrayed me. I used to be a weapon, but I'm not a weapon anymore. I'm my own person. like that movie's been done 1,000 times. You just injected the guy with like some animal serum.
I think the real point is that people have to realize, like, it's kind of like the Matrix, where they're looking at the spoon, and the little boy is bending the spoon, and Neo tries to bend it, and he says, you have to realize there is no spoon. And so it's the same thing with new ideas. There's no such thing as an original idea. You're pulling it from different places. All this stuff has been done before. So what it's really all about is understanding what you're taking from and creating enough barrier that it's not that anymore. And so what I liked about Beast King is it's an obvious homage. He says it right away. It's a mixture of the Hulk and Batman, but it is not Hulk and Batman. And he has created enough things, and he's thrown enough new things in there that it is not that anymore. And so Beast King is his own thing. I almost had that issue actually with Welcome to the Void. Manny's name was Danny, and he was originally
so generic.
What his name was Danny, and he was a white dude who had grown up. He was Danny, and he had grown up as a white dude in Tibet. And then I went, oh, wait, that's Iron Fist. Like, crap, I can't do that. So I had to go back into the character. He's Manny. He is Asian. So like I had to make some changes to make sure that I was stepping away from that. So yeah, you have to know where your influences are, and take what you take, and then the rest has to be enough space that you can tell it is something different.
And not just like influence as well, but typically like when people like that's an original idea, it's not necessarily an original idea. It's something that we've all known, but we're kind of twisting it in a way. So the reason why people go, oh, that's an original idea. It's like, I'm going to use Inception once again. People are like, Inception, it's such an original idea, which to be fair, like no other movie had done something like that before. But the whole like how like having a dream within a dream, everyone's had an experience like that. The writer just made it a little more like known. Everyone has that, like, when you're falling in your dream and you wake up, everyone's had that experience before where you're laying down and you're like, that's how they wake them up. So it wasn't necessarily an original idea. He just took everything that we knew about sleeping and just like was like, yeah, that's what happens in my world. And then everyone's like, oh, I never thought about it, but you do it every single day. Your comic Hulk and Batman, everyone knows those elements, but you're putting it forefront saying, yeah, Hulk and Batman, but what if?
Yeah.
What if? I think that's the big factor is what if.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? With original ideas, like the pyramids of Egypt were an original idea, and yet how the hell did we also get pyramids in South America and in Central America? The thing is that two people can think of the exact same thing. Aliens. That's possible, I guess. But two people can come up with the same idea at the same time and just have different takes on it. So you just have to stand by your idea and what you've done and love it. And it's the same thing as what you were saying about demons. Obviously you weren't taking it from somewhere else. It's just not who you are. But sadly, someone else had a similar idea at the same time.
For sure. And I think though, like if you I think with like stories, if you say, well, this story is the exact same. So like let's say there's like my original story. Let's say there's demons, there's supernatural, and they're just going like on path together side by side. At some point though, one of them is going to go like this because this is my personal experience. Now, this is my personal fling I'm about to. She's like, oh, that's the same. That's the thing. But then I spin it because this supernatural is not going to be able to put the personal twist that I can in my own IP. And I think that's one reason why that like mainstream comics are still going, because you can have a bunch of Batman stories that are like the same, but then the writer has like a personal experience and they throw the reader off. They go, oh, I've never thought about that. I've never thought about it like that before. But it is scary.
I was actually about to mention that the best way to avoid it is to pretty much add your own. Even if your story seems like a carbon copy of another story, the best way to avoid making it seem like plagiarism is just to add your own flavor or twist to it. Do
you guys think though that a lot of, so like obviously the way there's creating IPs, there's creating characters, there's creating indie comics where, we try to, put our own spin to things. Do you see, however, and this isn't like a jab at the indie comic community, but let's be real. Do you guys ever see though some indie comic creators who are like, yeah, this is my original idea, but you like just know it's a blatant ripoff. Like you can tell. I've seen so many speedsters, and I'm just like, isn't that the Flash? To go, nah, it's my original IP. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the Flash, but he's just purple.
Why do they have a lightning bolt on their suit? And then there are the ones that'll say that the famous person ripped them off. They had the idea first. And it's like,
that's my favorite. I love things.
Wasn't Flash made in the 30s or 40s?
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. It's like you weren't alive in the early 1900s. You're 40.
And I think a lot of creators they know what they like. If you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you want to create a story, you're probably going to want to create a team up, a comic with a bunch of superheroes, and they have a team up and they go against a big baddie, like that. And if you can't say, I hate it when creators are like, no, this is like my original team up, and like they're gonna be. I'm like, yeah, but just be honest with me. You know that you read a Justice League comic, you read an Avengers comic or saw the movies, and you're like, I want to do that myself. I mean, I have a comic book that's like that. I literally call it my like parody MCU because every issue, every arc that I've written is based off an arc in the MCU. Like I literally have it as phase 1. Instead of Age of Ultron, it's called Age of Glutron because the guy's anti-gluten. He's killing everyone who can't eat gluten.
Yeah.
So like, and my guy who's like Thanos, he's like the archetype, and he looks exactly like it. I'm not saying like that's not an original idea. I'm like, you're dang right, it's not an original idea. I'm just twisting this. I'm just twisting this stuff, and I think creators need to be a little more honest about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's like for me when I do a lot of my issues, especially Welcome to the Void when I'm playing them and stuff. I'm a big fan of heavy metal music, and so each issue is actually named after a heavy metal song that is kind of the theme of that issue. And so you'll be able to listen to that song and then read the book at the same time. They're not going to follow each other exactly, but they are going to be able to, excuse me, but they are going to be able to, you can see where they come together.
Mm-hmm. I think a big thing also to show that you haven't necessarily plagiarized is every single book that you create, especially if it's like fantasy, sci-fi, like magic or any of this kind of stuff, it's got to have its own set of rules that are unique. I think that's also makes, I mean, Chuck, how many people have done magic stories? Harry Potter, like,
oh yeah.
But Harry Potter has their own set of rules. The Void has their own set of rules. I mean,
Game of Thrones
has their own set of rules. How many comic books have done the whole I'm a dude that can turn into a beast, something? But you have to have their own rules. The Hulk has its own rules. Beast King has his own rules. That's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
What is Beast King's rules, by the way, Shane?
He can turn into the beast form whenever he wants. Like he can literally just turn one of his arms into the beast form while the rest of him stays human looking.
Dang.
He's born like that.
But he also has, I believe it's 4 different animals, and those are the only ones that he can take from. And I believe each part of him is basically attached to that one animal, so to speak, right? Like, so the one arm is that one animal who we will keep quiet right now because that's a really fun reveal.
Well, the way I did it was basically, how do I put it? Certain parts of their DNA was added to emphasize certain parts of him. Like his super strength comes from a certain animal that might be pretty obvious. And
you can mention the obvious ones. I would just keep that one quiet.
Yeah, don't hold too back, man. Let's sell this comic.
Yeah, let's sell it. Exactly. There you go.
Okay, so part of his DNA, he has gorilla DNA. So that's obviously where the strength and stuff like that comes from. Because in issue 1, there's a scene where he just straight up slams his hand through the front end of a truck and stops it immediately to save a little girl from being hit by the truck. And
Nice.
I mean, there's certain things in his appearance. Like once you see what the animals are, especially a very specific one that doesn't get revealed till later in issue 3, you kind of be like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. And I'll give kind of like a little hint. It's like the red parts of his body.
So with that though, you have to create this set of rules, and you've created for Beast King this set of rules that are unique to your IP. Like no other. I mean, I'm sure someone else might. It's like music. There's only a certain. There's a limited amount of keys. There's a limited amount. Every chord, every song basically has the same 4-chord structure. If you want to like get on the radio, but somehow they're able to make each one original.
Oh yeah.
They're all using the same techniques. So when people are, I think a big thing is people shouldn't be all angry about like, is this original? Is this copied? Ultimately, ask yourself, is this a fun story? Am I entertained? And then, understand that not everything is original idea. Most, like 99.9% of things aren't original. I can't think of anything original. I'm trying to think of any comic I've read lately that I was like, oh man, I've never seen that done before. Because even if you have that, if you really look back and think about it, you can find something that's been done 10 years ago, 20 years ago in some form of any kind of form of storytelling. It might not even be in comics, but a movie could have done that, or an old poem back in the day, like did it.
And even if you like use like a standard cliche, it's okay to use a standard cliche as long as you put your own twist to it and not make it a carbon copy of another one.
Yeah, man, I hate it when people are like, "Oh, there's so many cliches in this." It's like some of these cliches are good because they work.
Yeah,
well, they come from somewhere and they sit around for a reason.
Oh yeah,
they're good. Some cliches are good because they make sense. Most people can relate to these cliches. We've seen them done before, and if they're done right, we go, yeah. Like the whole
tired of it.
A superhero having a sidekick is such a cliche.
But I mean, it helps for character growth and whatnot.
But it helps with character growth. I mean,
like with Batman, for example, he can be kind of a cold asshole sometimes. But having him around kind of helps balance that out.
The God of War games, the God of War video games, like that last one, they gave him a sidekick. They gave him his son, and that just elevated the storytelling so much because he's not just this badass dude anymore. He's a father. He's got to raise this kid. And people are like, oh, that's a cliche. It's copying like all these other, it's copying all these other stories. Yeah.
So, does that mean that all 3 of my kids are cliches? Like, eventually, you're probably going to pop out a kid. So, like, why can our characters not grow up and do the same thing? I think it would be ridiculous to try to keep a character into a static holding because you don't want to be cliche. You don't want them to, like... Now, I would rather they were cliche and grew the hell up and became, evolved into something different than they stayed the same thing for 100 years or whatever,
I'm not to throw out an opinion, guys. You guys might not like it. I don't give a crap. No, I give a crap, sub and like. No. I should be like Logan Paul, buy my merch. No. I don't have merch yet. Is the I am like so pro character death. Like I would totally be fine if I knew that Bruce Wayne Batman had died 20 years ago and I didn't grow up with him, but I grew up with like Dick Grayson. He was the previous Robin and he was my Batman right now. And then in 10 years he dies in the comics and now then there's a new Batman. And I can tell my kids, well, the Bruce Wayne Batman, he was pretty cool. You can go check out his. These characters, like when people were angry that like, oh, Batman's getting married this year, I'm like, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he try to get married?
Well, and the same thing happened with Spider-Man. He was married, everyone bitched about it, and then they completely made it so that never happened. Guys, characters grow up, and if you really want to see a great comic book where characters grow up and that kind of thing happens, Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon died, and there's a new one, and he's always playing with that, and the one thing he says is that it's a comic that is always aging, that's always growing, it's being played in real time, and I love that idea.
Yeah, isn't like the son like supposed to be the current main character now?
Honestly, not a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of what he's doing. So I haven't gone and actually read the books, but I know I'm aware of what he's doing, and I love that.
I'm pretty surprised that he's still going with Savage Dragon, since I don't think anyone reads Savage Dragon anymore. But
I mean, I agree with still on Diamond.
But the concept though is so true.
Yeah,
like keep them dead and have them become a legacy character, and have them have someone else take up the mantle. I like that would be so cool, and it would actually give weight on when a character dies. You're like, oh my gosh, like this is the end of an era. Like,
it's why people don't take comics seriously.
Because they always expect them to come back to life 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny that you bring up Savage Dragon, because Eric Larson, the creator, said that the death of Superman made it so that people took comics seriously, and then the return of Superman destroyed the comic book industry. Because, I agree. Because immediately people are like, okay, there's no more stakes.
There's no consequence.
There's no consequences. And I mean, that's so true. It's kind of actually sad to think about that. It's so true. It would be so cool. I mean, whenever a character dies for me, when Batman died in the New 52, I was like, yes, like this is great. I hope. But then I realized, you know what? They're not going to keep him.
He'll be back in the next issue.
Yeah, he'll be back.
I love though, like, and I'm with you. I love that too. When Jean Grey died back in 2001, I was excited because the way Marvel was spinning it, she was going to stay dead, and I was really excited because she was dead for a long time, and it made me love that character more. I loved her more because now I could look back at her legacy. I could look back at what she had done, who she was, what she had gone through, and now that I know she's coming back, or she is back, or whatever crap, it means a lot less to me, and that's very disappointing.
Kind of hurts. It kind of hurts as a fan.
Yeah.
You know, invested in their death, and then all of a sudden it's like, psych.
But as indies, we need to be better than that. I think we need to recognize these rules, see what we like and don't like, and adapt.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually personally enjoyed when Batman died, like 5 years ago. No, I read it 5 years ago. It was like 10 years ago. But those comics, I really liked Dick Grayson as Batman. I really liked him as Batman because he was new. He was still trying to figure it out, and he still had this burden of like, am I being as good as the last one? And I was like, and then you were growing. You were seeing him grow, and then Bruce Wayne came back, and he's like, I'm perfect. I know everything, and imperfection is what makes good stories. I mean, if you're not beating the crap out of your main characters and not letting them grow, it's not a fun story, in my opinion. If I want to see, I want to put my characters through hell. I
think by the time Chuck finishes on the issue 4 script, he's gonna think I hate my main character.
I already feel that way.
You should hate your main. You should hate your main character. You should. But you it's like, what was it like a Catholic priest was like, why does God someone went to a Catholic priest was like, why does God let pain in the world? It's like so that people can grow. Maybe. So I don't want to get religious on anyone. I'm not a Catholic, but that could be something. You want to let your characters grow. I mean, people notice in volume people say like, well, in volume 1 of Demons, Ace Carter, he's a dick. I don't like him. And I'm like, that's good. And then in volume 2, you're going to see a completely different character in Ace because of the experiences that you went through in volume 1. And then, and you might not like who he is in volume 2 either. And then hopefully in volume 3, when it will end, you'll realize, okay, I understand. Now, well, I mean, you should just people will understand when they read it. In volume 1, if you're not familiar with it, I actually have people who are in the chat who back the book who haven't read it yet. So You're getting your book soon. Let's just say in the first volume, he was a really big dick. In the second one, he realizes that he shouldn't have been a dick, but now he's like more angry at himself for being a dick. And then the third one, he'll redeem himself. I want to get into the chat real quick.
I was going to say there's a really good question, actually.
What was it?
It was way up there. It says, do you find that certain genres are more difficult to have original ideas in?
Ooh.
Superhero genre, probably.
Are you kidding me? Sorry, I can't believe I attacked
Shane,
you
are
like
you
that.
kidding
This
me?
is some bullshit.
Shane, are you kidding me?
I mean, superhero genre is probably the one where people end up making carbon copies.
I won't. This is what I'll say. I'll say it's not. I won't say it's like hard or easy. I think the problem is it's so saturated that we might, because it's so saturated with crap, we think that no original ideas can go. Guys, I'm going to tell you guys my original superhero story right now. And I swear, if I see anyone do this, I will. And if I find out that you're subscribed, I will find you, because this is my idea. This is my idea. Okay. Imagine.
Trademark.
Yeah, trademark. I trademark this right now. It is. That's actually copyright law. Here we go. April 17th, 8:12 p.m. It's a Wednesday, so I can, like, if they didn't create it, if they created it after this, it's my. I'm gonna sue the crap out of them.
Marvel.
I can't afford a. But imagine a superhero universe where all the enemies are food, and all the superheroes' weaknesses have to do with something like food. So I've got like this. I've got Captain Dairy, which is a ploy on Captain America, but he gets his source from the Dairy Stone, which is one of the 5 buffet stones.
Okay.
That are on the oven mitt of power. And so he can't, because he's super lactose intolerant, he has to live off the Dairy Stone. But then there's like Age of Glutron, and Glutron, he doesn't like anyone with celiac disease. And so he's like trying to genocide everyone with celiac disease. Maybe not the most.
I like when it's so difficult to find your influences there.
No, it's a total ripoff of Marvel. My wife, when I was showing my wife, she goes, "What's the final arc going to be?" I was like, "Well, I don't know what the last movie of Avengers is called yet." Now I know. But I agree though with superheroes. It's not super easy. It's not super hard. What it is it's oversaturated. I don't know, fantasy. Do you think that'd be a hard genre?
Well, fantasy.
No, I don't think so.
I think
Sci-fi?
fantasy would be the easiest.
That's true, because fantasy, you have no rules.
Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want.
What about sci-fi? You can do the same thing with sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah, but sci-fi is a little more difficult because there are some rules. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's already some rules ingrained in there. Whereas like with fantasy, you can literally do anything. You can do sci-fi fantasy. You can do fantasy way in the past. You can do it in any era. But sci-fi, like the one word that's the most important there is science. So there has to be something that we're able to latch on, some actual rules. So yeah, I would say sci-fi can be the hardest one.
Maybe horror.
Well, horror's kind of like fantasy because you can kind of do whatever you want with horror.
Yeah,
that's true.
As long as it's creepy and scares people.
Maybe crime.
Romance. Actually, I would agree with crime.
It's like, oh, it's a murderer. Plot, and it's a plot twist at the end. We actually caught the guy 5 minutes ago, but we thought he was innocent. It's,
yeah, that's true.
When there's a million, I am so surprised that there's 1,000 different crime shows and they're able to come up with a new episode every week.
Oh, dude, have you seen the romance novels that churn out? Those they make so much money, and those things are flying out.
Hey guys, if you ever go to a bookstore, go into the romance section and just read the back of the books. I was in South Africa, and we were reading at the back of the books. I read one back of the book and I started cracking up, and then I read the back of the next book next to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, every story is the exact same. It's like Tina just got out of an abusive relationship and she needs to go get some peace. So she goes to the mountains when all of a sudden she meets billionaire Rob and she falls in love with him. But then Derek comes back and she's so like, and then like the next one, it was just like Ruth was having a hard time in college and she needed to return back home when all of a sudden she found millionaire Tyler, who was her high school sweetheart, but he's now successful. It's like, and all these guys had millions of bucks. It was never Tina came back home and saw Ryan, her old school love. He's homeless now, but does she love him? Like, I think romance would be hard.
Well, it's funny because it's not like they're still blasting out stuff, and I think a lot of that is just because the fans don't give a crap. Like they really just, they know what they want, they know what they're gonna get, and as long as you keep giving it to them, they're gonna keep taking it. And it's true.
Did you guys see Aquaman?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So at the end, like when you found out that the dad was like waiting every single day on the pier, waiting for like her Aquaman's mom to come back, I whispered to my wife, and I was like, if she doesn't come back at the end of the movie and hug him and be like, I'm back, I'm out of here. And that was the last scene. That was the last scene where she returns and then they kiss. And I was like, I was crying, guys. I don't care. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, like they returned. But I knew it was going to happen.
They set that up. They had to do that.
Yeah, they had to
do it. Yeah.
Would you guys ever write a romance comic book?
I would. I actually.
Chuck's like, I would.
I would maybe do it just to say I did it. But then everyone would die.
That's beautiful, dude. Make it an undead romance.
Oh my gosh. You would do it, Chuck?
I would, just to, you know what, man, I think we all need to test ourselves. That's why I'm actually really excited about the contest that you're doing, because I already had some ideas for like 2-page stories that I was going to throw at you. And then you were like, we're going to give you a random genre. And I was like, oh, badass. I love that. Like now I get to really just play with whatever's thrown at me. And that's the kind of thing to do. And actually, yeah, Wendy said it. We have kind of done romance. Wendy and I have a fantasy series that we did. And we're converting it into books now. And there was a lot of romance in there.
Romance is good, man. I want to do a romance, but I feel like I would do a spin. I know like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips went to, he's the artist. He went, hey Ed, they normally do like crime stuff. All their books are crime and serial killers and robberies. He's like, Ed, I really want to do a romance novel. And Ed was like, okay. And he sent him the script and he goes, why are there guns and drugs in this? He goes, oh, it's a romance story. He goes, yeah, but like, why is she like killing people? He goes, because she loves him. And she'll do everything that she can to be with him.
Bonnie and Clyde, man. Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, man. Bonnie and Clyde. Holy crap. I actually watched that movie the other day, The Highwaymen, on Netflix.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's about the two guys who caught and killed Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah,
it was I'm not gonna lie, it was ridiculously slow. If you want to just get to like if you just like watch the last 5 minutes, it's pretty entertaining.
What about the fantasy version of Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah, I need a fantasy version.
Right.
But yeah, I agree though. I think fantasy is the easiest because you can either go old school fantasy or you could be like you could have some like new age, new tech fantasy where they were primitive, but now they're not in like huts anymore. The elves like have like science and crap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think fantasy just because there's no rules. Rules are I think every genre has rules, and those rules, if they're not done right, are restricting. Like crime has so many rules.
It really does.
And like sci-fi has some, but fantasy, you make up your own rules. Those elves, they can fly. Yeah, they can. That's what my elves do. My elves fly. Those dwarfs, they're taller than the elves. Yeah, that's what I decided to do. It's my world.
Well, I mean, like in the MCU, that dwarf was a giant.
Exactly. He wasn't small. He was huge.
The giant dwarf.
He was.
Freaking
I'm a giant dwarf.
Oh, man.
Actually, though, while we're on here, because we already congratulated Tyler for his for the new kiddo coming, I actually wanted to congratulate our boy Shane. He just got married.
Congrats, dude! Congrats on getting married.
Thanks, man.
Hey Shane, can I be honest with you on something?
Sure.
I was going through my feed and I was like, and I didn't see your picture there, but I saw like your wife's picture, and I was scrolling. I was like, who's this? She's pretty. And then I saw you, and I was like, oh, my boy Shane. Shane.
Yeah, a lot of people are surprised when they see a picture of her. They're like, "What?" And it's like, "Gee, thanks for letting me know how ugly you think I am."
No, Shane, you deserve her. No, I was like,
accept it.
no, dude, how's the marriage? How's marriage going? Is it awesome?
I mean, it doesn't really feel any different. I mean, we were already living together and whatnot, so
Now you just have like the government on you, and you can like take half your crap now if you.
Yeah.
If you
now we get less taxes back.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I went to my wife. I was like, "Hey, do you think we should have done a prenup?" She goes, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't want you to take my PlayStation." I love that. I love that. I love that
I don't
thing.
want it, but I'm gonna destroy it.
But when Wendy and I got together, Wendy and I are actually celebrating 20 years in September.
That's like
And
almost as old as I am.
when we got together, she was 10 years older than me, and my dad was such an idiot. He was not excited that because we were together for a very short time before I asked her to marry me. I knew she was the one. Like right away from day one, I knew she was the one. And after just a couple months, I asked her to marry me, and my dad just thought I was such an idiot. And now I can say, "Suck it, Dad." But he thought I was such an idiot, and so he goes, "You know, she's probably just after you for some specific reason." I'm like, "I'm poor as crap. What do you think she's after?
Fantasy
What,
writing.
like your millions? You're poor as crap. What do you think she's after?" He's like, "You're young." Yeah, well, I won't be forever, so I'm not sure that's it. Like, it's a very crappy long game that she's playing here. So, like, I don't know what you think. I think
Chuck's
you think
gonna write the
like,
next Game of Thrones,
dumb.
and I'm really banking on that. I'm really banking on his long-term success.
She's really been banking on it because it's been 20 years that we've been together, and now I'm just starting to get even like the tiniest amount of fame. So yeah, way to bank on that, baby. You're way smarter than I am.
You know what? Ultimately, I want to say thank you though to the women in our lives who are right now allowing us to do this. Who are allowing us to do this? I mean that's super awesome. They allow us to. I mean, I'm like, hey babe, I know I haven't seen you all day, but I gotta draw, or I gotta do a show, and you know. You guys are both not with your spouses right now. Go, creators who are not with their husbands or wives, and go our support systems who are like, you know what, you have a dream, go for it. Because it'd be so bad if she was like, fine, but it sucks. What you do sucks. It's like, actually, I dated a girl that was her final. I was like, hey, I want to marry you, and she was like, no, and I was like, oh, okay. And then we started we had this like the why conversation. Well, why? And then it got a bit heated, and finally she goes, oh yeah, and by the way, and this was like the last thing she ever said to me. Like she said to me before she got out of my car, she goes, I hate your comics, and walked out. And I went, wow. Like that was it was such a personal attack. I went, well, F you, I hate your mom.
You know what though? That's perfect. If someone doesn't want to be with me, I hope you hate what I do. Because Wendy and I, we love what we do. Like we got together as writers. And so that has created that. But anyone who didn't like what I did, man, I'm glad you're gone. Because I didn't need that in my life.
You don't need
that I got what I needed.
You don't need that negativity.
And so obviously, like your ladies, if they're cool with this and they're happy with what you're doing and they're supportive, then you guys have exactly what you want. And everyone who left you along the way, they needed to be gone.
Can you imagine if you were with someone you found out like a year in, they're like, I actually really don't like that you do this.
There's actually a surprising amount of creators that their significant other or even their kids and stuff like that, they don't care for it, and they're like, I'm literally at this by myself, and it's like, dang, I feel bad for you. Get away from me.
Oh, I was like, I saw you get away from it. I was like, Shane, that's no way to talk to your wife.
I know, right?
It's her weird.
This is not lasting.
Hey, Chuck, I'm putting $20. It's not $20. It's not lasting.
That's weird thing. Like, I don't even think it's really a dog. I think it's like a bug in a dog skin. Like, look at those weird eyes.
Guys, that is the Beast King right there. That is the Beast King, which, by the way, guys, is currently on Kickstarter. I'm putting the link in the description. Go check it out. Let's leave out there, guys. That was a really good conversation. That was good. That was good.
It really was.
I'll let you guys. All right, guys. Let's let you guys plug yourself. Chuck, where can people find you on the social media land?
Well, all right. So obviously you can find me on Facebook as Chuck Pino. I'm pretty much about the only one. You can find me on Twitter at Chucky Pin. You can find me here on YouTube at Chuck's Raw Reviews. And thank you. You're awesome that you're putting it up there. And you can also find my my Bonfire Press on Facebook. And also next week, I want you to watch Kickstarter real close because my baby Belial is coming next week, and it's gonna blow you guys away. I can feel it.
Chuck, do you think, real quick, do you think Saturday, like, do you think a lot of, and I'm asking you as well, Shane, do you guys think that creators can come on Saturday mornings? Do you think that's a good time?
I would.
Yeah, I'd do it. I think it's better.
Okay, because I still want to do creator interviews. I'm not using Google Hangouts though. Frick, this thing's been so glitchy. I might be using like Skype or something. If anyone has Skype. You guys have Skype?
I have Skype.
Yeah, or maybe I will use Google Hangouts. I'll maybe use Google Hangouts, but I won't do it live. I'll do it like Larry does. He like uses OBS and does something. Yeah, it just keeps glitching on me and it pisses me off. Yeah, because I can't not have you on, Chuck, and talk about Belial, since we've been talking about Belial every time you come on for a long time. So we gotta talk about that book.
I would love that, man.
Shane, where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook. You can literally just search up Shane Morrison, and you should find me. Just look for the redheaded dude. You can find my.
He's the ginger one.
You can find my my Facebook page for my comic books, Crimson Gate Comics. I have a Twitter page, which should also just be. I think you can search up Shane Morrison and find that as well, and it'll bring up Crimson Gate Comics also. I have Instagram, and that's also at Crimson Gate Comics. And
you nailed it. You nailed it. You got that branding down.
All right.
Which is super smart. Dude, the only thing I couldn't get Drawn Talk was Twitter. I was pissed.
Yeah, Twitter's kind of weird. Yeah.
Hold on. No, it's Crimson Gate Comics, Burton. He said, "You have gay comics, Shane?" No, it's Gate.
Britton got all excited. He's like, "Ew, all right, Crimson Gate Comics."
There is a creator that. There is a creator though in like the indie comic scene that I've seen on Facebook, and he does strictly gay comics.
I love that you call them straight gay comics.
No, strictly. Yeah, originally they were straight, but it was like I was like, he does strictly gay comics. In fact, I didn't know that, and I auditioned to draw one of his scripts. I didn't read it. I just saw it looking for artists, and I sent my portfolio. And he was like, "Yeah, like I'll send you a script, like just to do a test page from one of the pages." I went, "Okay," and I read it. And I went, "Oh my gosh!" Like it's like graphic, like erotica, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I can't draw that. And he goes, "Why?" I was just like, "I'm just not comfortable with the amount of nudity." I'm
the editor for Fetish Babies, all right? So, and that is not my world at all. And so there was at least one point where I was like, "Look, dude, I'm not going to research this stuff. I just have to assume that you know what you're talking about." He's like, "Yeah, no, I do." I'm like, "Good, then we'll just roll with it. That's fine."
Oh, man. Katrina Rowett says, "Going to say this even though it's forever behind, but I think they're shutting down Google Hangouts." They actually are. They're shutting it down either at the end of this year or sometime next year, which is why I want to get off this platform because they are taking it down, which is actually sad. It's so easy to use. You just send a link.
Yeah, what's the point?
It's just people aren't using it.
Oh, that's
So,
ridiculous.
Yeah, people aren't using it. So yeah, it sucks. So yeah, we need to find new outlets. I wish Discord. I wish there was a way to do like a live video on Discord, but the only way to do there is a way to do it. I could just actually I can do that on I can do it on Discord, but I'd have to have the creator be like, yeah, you have to join our Discord in order for us to do the video thing. Not necessarily
It's a good way to beef up your numbers.
That's true. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. I'll have to practice that. And guys, thank you so much. Guys, go follow Shane. Go follow Chuck. These two are like some of my favorite indie comic creators. I will be biased. I have tons of people on the show every single week, like you guys know, but these two are some of my favorites, and I actually interact with them on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, these guys are awesome. Go follow them. Go check out Beast King. I'm putting the link out one more time in the chat. Go check them out. Go guys, at the $8 reward, you can get 3 digital issues. At the 15, you can get 3 physical issues of Beast King. I've read them and they're good. Also, guys, gosh dang it, man, copy. If you want to join our Discord, putting that in the chat. This will be the last time I'm putting in the chat today. Check that out. And then tomorrow's episode, we have Jack Holder coming on. He's the creator of the Why Faith anthology. He'll be on the show. It's a jam-packed week, guys. Got a lot of creators coming on because they heard I was changing the format. And they're like, I'm not going on. And I was like, oh. So yeah. Guys, yeah. This is tomorrow's the last interview that we're going to be doing for 2 weeks. So the Why Faith, and then next week's episodes, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's a 3-part YouTube series on how to kill it when you go to a convention. So like they're each only like 10 minutes long. The first video is what you need to buy, all the things you need to get before the convention, how to like do the math on all that. The second one is the stuff. I don't remember what the second one is, and then the third one is when you are at the convention, what you need to do. Because every time I go to a convention, I have made money. And I've been next to someone who just sits there like this. And then they go, oh, I didn't get any sales today. I'm like, I'll tell you why. There's a bunch of ways. It'll be good videos. And then April 29th will be just an announcement. We're just going to go through the new structure of what the show is. And then May 1st, we're doing the $200 writer giveaway. If you are a writer or a creator and you want to come on the show and pitch a 2-page comic to us, we will have judges. If you make it to the final round, we will give you $200 to create a 2-page story of your own original idea. So that's May 1st, and then after that, May 6th, we start the new Draw and Talk episodes. They're going to be really fun. I've been working on them the last week or so, and they're really fun. They're only like 10 to 15 minutes long.
I have a quick question. Sorry about the $200 thing.
No, go for it.
So the 2-page comic is made, but what would it go in? Like, does it go in its own book, or it's made and you can submit it and do whatever you want with it?
Yeah, it's yours. You do whatever you want with it.
Okay, then I'm gonna throw this out to everybody in case anyone's interested. I'm actually helping to run a silent anthology. It's called Silent Screams, and it's black and white, and it's basically horror based. If you do something that is silent, we will put your 2-page book, your 2-page thing, in our book, if that's what you'd like.
Ooh, so see, guys, there's an opportunity right there.
I'll throw that up. That way, at least it's somewhere, it's in somewhere, and you guys can show it off.
Yeah, the last time I did this, we did 5 or 6 of these 2-page stories, and they're all going to be going into a future crime anthology that I have. Oh, cool. I'm almost finished with. I have like 30 more pages left, but I'm currently working on Undead Row right now with Wes Nadell. I'm sending him
cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm sending him the final 4 pages of book 2 today. And then I'm gonna ask him for like a week or 2 off just to like catch my breath, and then it's the final 54 pages. It's like 150-page book. It's intense. Dang. It's been a very long year working on the same book.
That reminds me, So Beast King is actually there's going to be like a 6-page short story featuring Beast King in a series done by is it Ramo Hill or Ramo Hill? I'm not totally sure.
Oh, Ramon Gill.
Ramon Hill, yeah.
Creator, Pink Wing, and Prime Controller and all that. And basically, I think it's called Shattered Earth or something.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
it's gonna be featuring all these other creators, and his characters are gonna be interacting in each world, basically. So I'm actually looking forward to that.
No, that'd be cool. Britain says, "Shit, bro, a 2-page comic that's hard." Britain, for the May 6th episode of Draw and Talk, I did a 1-page story. I did a 1-page comic story, and then I'll tell you guys what the first episode is. You guys let me know what your feedback is. Even though you guys have to like it though, because I spent like 2 days filming it. So if you guys don't like it, that was a waste of 48 hours. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that new video game, Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did is I played 15 rounds of Apex Legends, and then based upon how many kills I got would be how many panels I would put in a 1-page story. And then after, so I show the footage of me getting the kills. It's like a 2-minute montage of me getting the kills. Then I have like a 30-second montage of all the times I died, and then which was the majority of the 15 games. And then after that, I do a montage of me drawing that 1 page. And then at the end, I show you guys that 1 page. It's fully penciled, inked, lettered, and colored. And then you can just click on a link down below and you can see it. But then the next episode is like me telling you guys how I wrote the 1 page, how to write a 1-page story. And it's showing me like actually like coloring each panel. I'm trying to make more shorter videos because like videos like this, we're going on an hour. It's hard to someone who wasn't watching this live to like come the next day and be like, do I have an hour to watch this entire episode? Even though it was freaking golden, and they should, but people are more likely to rewatch like a 10 or 12 minute vid.
It's a lot easier
That's
to
the
watch.
plan.
You can watch multiple videos that way.
Yeah, Katrina Rowett says, and if Tyler's cool with it, I probably will be cool with it. I'll throw in free proofreading for the winner of the contest. Well, there you go.
She's very good, by the way. That's her stuff. She's good at that.
There you go. Justin says the 2-page isn't that hard. You got to get in and get out fast and get straight to the point. No fluff. I actually did a 2-page story with Justin, and it was super good. Justin like killed it on that 2-page story. It was super fun to draw. He did a very good job. And
I
then
did a 2-page Belial the other day.
Yeah, it's challenging. All it is challenging. But if you need, we all as writers and creators, we need to learn how to flex different muscles. We can't always tell epics. Sometimes a 2-page story is where it's at. And then Jose says coming up with the idea on the spot is a cool challenge. Yeah, that's the big thing is people have been saying how come you can't like pick one genre? I'm like, well, I want to put you on the spot. And here's the thing is I'm not just gonna be like throwing it out of my ass. I'm gonna have like a legit like way for us to like. There's gonna be like maybe like a pinwheel, like a superhero. You have, and then it's
Can
like
I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
I think it would be really cool if you spun the wheel more than once, and it was like multiple genres. So it's like science fiction superhero, okay, and so
that would be cool.
Really like.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like that really kind of makes it niche. And now you're really
cool.
pulling
what if
something
we
out of your
did that
butt.
each round? What if each round was harder? So the first round it's one genre, so pretty basic. Second round it's a 2 genre, and then third round it's like fantasy, crime, romance.
Right.
And somehow you got to do all of that in 2 pages. That would be so freaking hard. I'm trying to think if I could fantasy, crime, romance. The elf that I was dating turned out to be a murderous dwarf.
And you deserve to be the champion.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's actually a pretty good idea. Do you guys think that's a good idea?
I love it.
Hard. Yeah. That'd be hard, man. That would be entertaining. That would be entertaining. All right, guys. I'm just trying. I'm making like different combos in my head. I'm like, I can't do that. Pass next, and I'm creating another 3 combo. I'm like, no, pass. That's super hard. That'll be fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go follow Chuck. Go follow Shane. And guess what, guys? I'm just gonna put the link for the Beast King one more time in the chat. Go check it out. And then. Yeah, guys. Congrats on Shane. You guys, here's also one last plug for Beast King. The great thing about you backing this project is it's already 100% funded, which means you will already you have a 100% chance of getting this book, which is super nice. There's nothing sadder than backing a project and then it doesn't get funded.
Oh man, which has been happening a fair amount.
Yeah, it has. I've been seeing it. Sad days. All right, guys. Peace out, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m.